Breaking news, breaking news, breaking news. Check it out. This one is about Karmelo Anthony's appeal. I'm going to speak about how an appeal feels like emotional oxygen. I mean, emotion gives you air, but the denial can feel like the room loses gravity. Remember that. It's like you falling out of space and you don't know where you're going to go. I'm going to break down the ups and downs of what Karmelo Anthony's going through right now so that you understand his mindset of what he's dealing with. We're not here for the gossip. We're not here for the evidence. We're not here for the racial divide. We're here for this young man's mindset so you understand. Let's start this party, man. All right? You know what it is, yo. Just to catch you up on what's going on real quick, because right now Karmelo Anthony's filed an appeal, and I'm going to break down what an appeal is. So if you don't know what an appeal is and you want to know, make sure you stick around and share this video as well. All right.
Karmelo Anthony, he is that Texas teenager who was sentenced this week to 35 years in prison for killing fellow high school athlete Austin Metcalf. Prosecutors argue Anthony intentionally killed Metcalf after being shoved by him and his teammates at a Dallas area school track meet. His lawyers plan to appeal, saying prosecutors wrongly excluded black people from the jury. CBS News spoke exclusively to Anthony's parents this morning.
Didn't intend to hurt anyone. My son was defending himself.
What do you say to his grieving family?
It's unfortunate to where nobody wins. We've all been hurt by this. Everybody.
Well, Metcalf's father called the sentencing bittersweet, saying he wouldn't wish it on anyone, but also...
All right, so that's where we at, right? That's Mr. Metcalf. So we have his appeal pending right now. This young man. Right there. All right, so now, the appeal won't save his nights. That's what I want to begin with. Let's get right to this ride. The appeal won't save his nights. Karmelo Anthony got 35 years. And now people hear the word appeal, right? And the first thing they think is hope. They think maybe something changes. Maybe the sentence gets overturned. Maybe the judge sees it different. Maybe the court finds an error. Maybe he gets a second chance. And listen, an appeal is hope. I'm talking about that away. You can't take away from anyone. When you're sitting in a prison, hope is oxygen. Hope is the little crack in the wall where your mind tries to breathe. Hope is what lets you lay on your bunk and say, maybe this is not over. I had life plus 20. That's a life sentence with no chance of parole to never get out to die in a pine box, plus 20 years on top of that. So I kept hope alive. Hope is what lets you lay in your bunk. That's what let me lay there and say, maybe this is not over. But here is the dark reality. An appeal does not stop count time. An appeal does not stop cell doors from clanging in your head and in your physical. An appeal does not stop the tray sliding through the slot in the door to feed you when you're on lockdown. An appeal does not stop the lights from going out. An appeal does not stop the night. And night in prison, that's when the mind start talking loud, like an animal. The jewel in that, Rock, so I can speed this up. An appeal can give a man hope, but it cannot hold him when the cell gets quiet. Now, just so you understand, right? Let me do this real early so we can knock this out. I got my 100,000 subscriber joint, right? Now, we got that in order, but they done changed up the rules and the procedures. So now, in order to get my type of content out that talking to the people, you have to hit the like button. You put a comment. I don't care if it's emoji. Do something. Tell me you like the show. You don't like the show. Say something. All right, but I know you're getting something from it, so I know it'll be all positive. So now, that's what we have to do to get this out. So I'm gonna ask y'all some controversial questions in between this to help y'all have something to put in the comments. Do people on the outside overestimate when an appeal really does? Because they never had to sleep in a cell while waiting on one to be approved or denied. Now, hope for the best, expect the worst. That's the first thing I learned from a brother from Miami, Florida, when I was in Virginia Beach County Jail in 1993. Hope for the best and expect the worst. Let me break that down so you understand. You in class right now. Let me tell y'all how this really works, right? When you file a motion, when you file an appeal, when you file anything in court from prison, you hope for the best, but you expect the worst. That's the language of survival mentally. Because if you expect the best and they deny you, that denial can crush you and make you react violently and dig you deeper into the darkness of a bliss. So you train yourself. You say, I know they might deny this. I know this might not go my way. I know the odds might be against me. But somewhere deep inside, you still feel that little light, that light voice saying, maybe they see it as I see it. Maybe they hear what I'm singing. Man, let me get into it. I'm about to get a little emotional, man. Hold up. I had to clear my throat, so that's why I put it on mute real quick. But you think maybe they see what I see. Maybe they hear what I'm saying. Maybe this judge understands. Maybe this court sends it back so the judge can hear it. Maybe this is the paper that changes everything. And while that motion is pending, you feel like you're walking on air. Not because you're free, because there's a chance of being free. And in prison, a chance can feel like freedom for a minute. The jewel in that is, when a man has nothing but time, even a small chance can feel like a door opening in his mind. And remember, I told you we're gonna go with the questions, keep y'all going, right? Controversial questions, see where y'all at, right? Is hope inside prison a blessing? Or can hope become another form of torture when the system keeps saying no? Now, the motion becomes your pillow, right? Now, you know what I mean? Put in the comments, you know what I mean when I say the motion becomes your pillow. That's when you're sleeping on it. This is the part people don't understand. When you got a motion pending, you sleep different. You breathe different. You walk the tear different. You go to the chow hall different. You read your mail different. Every time they call mail call, your heart jumps, thinking this is the response to my motion to free me from this torture. Every time the counselor says your name, your mind races. Every time legal mail comes through, you feel like your stomach tightening. Y'all that been in the system, put it in the comments and let them know what that feel like when your stomach tighten when that legal mail come through. Because that paper might be the answer. That envelope might be the door. That stamp might be the difference between more years and new years. And for a moment, you don't feel like just another inmate. You feel like a man fighting. You feel like your name still matters. You feel like the court still has to look at you as a human, as a fighter, as a survivor. You feel like your voice is not completely buried within the walls of the penitentiary. That motion becomes your pillow. You lay your head on hope. But the problem is paper can't hug you, my friend. So don't go to prison. It's not worth it. I'm gonna tell you again, gotta slide that in. Paper can't protect your mind at 2 a.m. Paper can't stop your thoughts from running wild deep within your mind when the lights go out and the mice start running up and down the tin and get into your food. Now when you pick up your potato chips, there's little black drops in it where the rat defecated in your food and told you, eat that. Paper can't stop that thought. What if they deny it? You see what I'm saying? This is what I had to live with for 26 years. The jewel, right? Legal paperwork can give your mind something to hold, but it cannot guarantee your heart won't break. And this is my question to you. To keep this thing going, like I said, we need to like, we need to comment. I need to play the intro again and get y'all going. Hold up, man. Hold up. Enough of that. Now, let's get this thing going, man. I mean, could we get this party started or what, man? Somebody let me know. Because I done did a lot of things in my life. But the question I gotta ask you now is, do y'all think the appeal process gives prisoners hope? Or does it keep them emotionally trapped in a cycle of waiting? I lived 26 years off motions. I'm not speaking from a textbook. I'm not speaking from a headline. I'm not speaking from some internet opinion. I lived this. I served and survived the 26 years of this. And during these years, I filed motions, I filed paperwork, I waited on courts, I waited on judges, I waited on answers, I waited on envelopes from the commissary, depending on someone to send me money so I could buy a stamp to put on that legal mail of hope. So when your family and friends in prison say they need a couple of hours on their books, remember what I just told you. I hope y'all look at it different now when you understand the words that are coming out my mouth. I wait on legal mail like a man waiting on breath. And every time I file something, I hope for the best, but I expected the worst. That's how you protect your mind. But even when you expect the worst, that hope still speaks and sneaks in to your mental. You tell yourself, don't get too high. Don't believe too much. Don't let your mind run too far. But at night, when everything gets quiet, you start imagining it. What if they grant it? What if I go back to court? What would I wear? The word is born, that's what we think, you know? Because now we get a chance to put a real Armani suit on and take off this prison khakis. What if I get resentenced? What if I get another chance? What if I go home? And that what if becomes dangerous. Because that if can lift you up. But the now can drop you through the floor back into reality. In prison, hope can make you float, but a denial can make you fall harder than the sentence did. Now, let me ask you a question, man. Remember, we need y'all to put in the question and hit the like button and all that. Y'all want to get this message out? If you want to get this out, this is what you have to do. Now, let's move forward with the question. Should we talk more about the mental damage of legal waiting? Not just the damage of the sentence itself. When the denial comes, right? When the denial comes, now, let's talk about denial, right? Because that's the dark room. That's the part nobody puts on the news. When that paper comes back denied, your heart sinks. Not regular disappointment. I'm talking about your whole body feels heavy. Like somebody poured cement inside your chest. You read it once, you don't believe it. You read it again. You start looking for another paragraph, another sentence, another word, something that says maybe you will be free. Something that says remanded, send him back to court. Something that says granted, he won his appeal. Something that says you have a new sentencing hearing, so there is another chance. Something that says relief. But all you see is denial. That's all I seen for 26 years was denial after denial after denial after denial after denial until I'm done denying. But I kept fighting. And when that word hits you, the cell gets smaller. Boy, did that cell get smaller. The air gets thinner. The noise gets far away. You want to curl up in a fetal position and just die already. You want to turn your face to the wall. You want to disappear inside yourself. Because for weeks, for months, sometimes years, that motion was carrying your mind with that hope. And now the court just took the crutch away from you. Makes the animal cry. Now the jewel in that is a denial is not just a legal decision. Inside prison, it can feel like somebody sentenced your hope. Now, this is my question to you, right? Put this in the comments. When a court denies a motion, do people realize they're not just rejecting paperwork? They're crushing the hope a man uses to survive? This is what Karmelo Anthony have to go through. So make sure you get this to their parents so they understand. They know to be there for their child and understand their mindset so that they'll know how to hold them up like the crutch that they would love to be in a situation like this. Where else you gonna get this type of content? Matter of fact, the Cash App on the screen, man. You know what I mean? Make sure when you go to the $ Unique Mecca Hall, you hit the icon that says it was created in 20. If you like the content, send me something. I'll give you $1, $2, $5. I'll show something, show some love. So, you know, I can build this thing and, you know, this is how we eat. All right? Now, the appeal doesn't save the night, Ron. This is why I say the appeal won't save his night. Because during the day, a man can act strong. He can walk the yard. He can be tough. He can play cards. He can read law books. He can tell people I got something pending. He can say my appeal is in. He can say my lawyer is working. He can say I still got a chance. But at night, when the prison gets quiet, all that confidence gets tested. That's when the ceiling starts talking. That's when the bunk feels like a coffin. That's when the number 35 starts walking around the cell. And you feel like it's smiling at you. 35 birthdays, 35 summers, 35 winters, 35 Christmas, 35 Mother's Day. 35 years of people changing outside while he fights to keep his mind alive inside. And an appeal cannot sleep for him. An appeal cannot stop the regret that he's feeling. An appeal most definitely can't silence anything. An appeal cannot stop the imagination. An appeal cannot stop the question. What if this is really my life now? Is what he's thinking. And the jewel in that is, the court can give you a pending case, but it cannot give you peace when the lights go out. Man, this is dark and deep. Man, give me a round of applause. I think I deserve a round of applause for this, man. Yeah. Relax. Let's get back to riding. Let's get back to riding. Huh? The controversial question I got for you to keep this in the comments, like I said, hit the like button, put a comment, respond to the comments, and hit the hype button. Let's keep it moving. Is the real punishment the years on paper or the nights a man spends fighting his own thoughts? The unique Mecca audio twist. Now, let me tell you the twist that I see. You know, I like to give you all my twists. Let me know if you like my twist. Put it in the comment. Give you something else to talk about. Now, here's the twist. The appeal is not just a legal fight. The appeal is a mirror. Because every motion forces a man to look at the moment that brought him there to be filing the motion in the first place. Every appeal brings the case back into his hands. Every brief brings the facts back. Every transcript brings the voices back. Every page brings the courtroom back. Every argument brings the decision back. And while the lawyer is looking for legal errors, the man is in the cell looking at his life's errors. I looked at all my errors and I had to repent for them. That's the part nobody talks about. But here at Unique Mecca Audio, I'm gonna bring you the real. The lawyer might be arguing procedure. The court might be reviewing the law. But the prisoner himself, he's reviewing his whole life. He's asking, how did I get here? What did I miss? Who was I listening to? Why did I think I had more time? Why did I think this couldn't happen to me? Why did I believe one moment couldn't take everything away from me? That's the real appeal. Not just appealing to the court, appealing to the man inside yourself. Talk to yourself and find out why you where you at, why you found an appeal in the first place. That's what Karmelo Anthony's gonna have to go through. Man, if y'all don't share this video, y'all some selfish mothers, man. You know, make sure you hit the like button, put the comment, share this video, and give me my hype button. I know this joint is fire. Let me get right to the jewel, right? But before that, man, like I said, he got to appeal to himself, right? Begging the better version of you to wake up before it's too late. That's why you must appeal to yourself, to beg the better version of you to wake up before it's too late. The deepest appeal is not always the court. Sometimes it's a man appealing to his own soul to finally tell the truth. Show me who I am. I will believe you now. And the question we need to keep it in the comment is, can a man truly win an appeal in court if he still loses the battle of accountability inside himself? That's the question. Hope can keep you alive, but it can also keep you waiting. Now, let me be careful here, right? Hope is necessary. A man without hope can become dangerous to himself. Hope gives structure. Hope gives him a reason to read. Hope gives him a reason to file. Hope gives him a reason to fight, a reason to wake up. So I'm not telling nobody to stop hoping, but I am saying this. Hope without preparation can be a trap. Because if all you do is wait on the court, you stop working on yourself. If all you do is say my appeal is coming and you stop building your mind, if all you do is stare at the legal mail, you stop studying, you stop growing, you stop accepting reality, you stop becoming better. And then if the denial comes, you got nothing underneath you. No foundation, no discipline, no education, no spiritual strength, no plan, just pain. And pain with no structure can turn into darkness. Same type of darkness like what Karmelo Anthony is going through right now. Now, the jewel in that is hope should keep you moving, not keep you frozen, waiting for somebody else to save you. Now, let me hit you with the controversial question, right? We're going to hit the controversial question. Do appeals sometimes help men survive, or do they sometimes stop men from facing the reality they still have to live through? Young men don't understand this part that I'm getting ready to speak on, right? This is what young men don't understand. They think the fight is outside. They think the fight is with the rival. They think the fight is with the enemy. They think the fight is with the person in front of them. No, the real fight might be years later, alone in a cell, reading the words denied. The real fight might be trying not to break after the court says no. The real fight might be hearing your mother say, we still praying. But you know, she's tired. My mother's 92. I know she was tired decades ago dealing with my crap. The real fight might be telling your family, I'm all right, when you're not all right. The real fight might be getting off the phone, walking back to your bunk, and trying not to let the tears come so the other men don't see that you're at your weakest point because your motion was denied. That is the fight no one sees. But that's the fight we're here to tell you and bring in your face over here at Unique Mecca Audio. So hopefully this will scare the crap out of you. Say, I don't want no part of that. That old black man crazy. You don't have to put up with that for 26 years. That is the fight the streets never warned you about. The streets talk about loyalty. The streets talk about respect. The streets talk about being tough. But the streets don't tell you what it feels like when a judge denies the only thing keeping your hope alive. The streets don't tell you how quiet a man gets after bad legal mail. The streets don't tell you how many people break without making a sound. That's why I'm gonna give you this jewel right now. The streets prepare young men for conflict, but they don't prepare them for denial. Decades in silence. The question, right? Remember, we need these questions and we need the like button now. At least do that now, all right? If you don't want to do the cash app that's on the top, do that. Why do young men get trained to survive street pressure? but nobody trains them to understand court pressure before it destroys them. The cycle of the next generation. Let's talk about the cycle of the next generation if we don't try and help, structure this generation. And after the denial, here comes the cycle. First, your heart drops. Then you get angry. Then you get quiet. Then you start reading again. Then you start looking for the next issue, the next motion, the next argument, the next deadline, the next door. Because you can't breathe until you file again. The next motion becomes your oxygen tank. You start telling yourself, okay, this one got denied, but maybe the next one will survive. Maybe habeas. That's a motion, a habeas corpus motion. Maybe an ineffective assistance argument. Maybe newly discovered evidence. Maybe a new sentencing issue. Maybe a constitutional issue. Maybe something, anything. Because the mind needs somewhere to go. And hope is the only escape we have in prison. A man doing serious time needs a road. Even if that road is made out of paper. And that is the cruel part. Sometimes the paper doesn't just fight the case. Sometimes the paper fights insanity. The jewel in that is, in prison, emotion can become more than law. It can become the string a man holds so he doesn't fall all the way into darkness from how that denial may crush him. The question for y'all to put in the comment, here we go, question to put in the comment. Is legal paperwork inside prison only about justice, or is it also about mental survival? I know these questions are a little deep, so rewind this joint so you can go back and get the questions. I know you got to hear it again, but I don't want to repeat myself. All right. But accountability still has to stand there. Now, let me say this clearly. Hope does not erase accountability. An appeal does not erase consciousness. Emotion does not erase pain. A legal argument does not erase family losses. And this is why we have to be mature with this conversation. We can talk about Karmelo's mental reality without disrespecting Austin Metcalf's life. We can talk about appeal pressure without acting like nobody was hurt. We can talk about prison trauma without glorifying the choices that lead people there. That's the balance. Because two things can be true. A family lost a son forever, and another family lost a son to the system for decades. And if y'all want to be creative, put in the comments, what would you rather? To have your son doing 30 years or be dead? Rest in peace to Austin Metcalf. Let me just say that. Rest in peace to Austin Metcalf. One mother's tears do not dry up another mother's tears. This is not entertainment. This is consequence. This is why one moment matters. This is why anger matters. This is why pride matters. This is why weapons matter. This is why young people have to slow down before 1 second becomes 35 years. The jewel in that is accountability means we can study the pain on both sides without turning either family into a talking point. And the question for you all to answer, put in the comments. Let's keep it going. Don't say it one time, so you might have to rewind it. Can society talk about what prison does to a convicted person without people thinking that means he forgot the victim? the darkest part of hope, man. We're gonna talk about the darkest part of hope. Then I'm gonna get out of here. I've been on here a minute. I just like to ride with y'all, man. The darkest part of hope is that it makes you imagine a life you might not get back. That's what people don't understand. When the appeal is pending, you start seeing things. You see yourself walking out. You see your mother crying. You see your family hugging you. You see the streets. You see the sun different. You see the food different. You see the clothes different. You see your bed. You see your own bathroom. You see freedom. And then the denial comes. And all those pictures burn up in your mind. That is the pain people don't understand. Because they think denial is just one word. No. Denial can erase a whole dream in one sentence. Denial can make a grown man sit on the edge of his bunk and feel like a child. Denial can make the strongest man go silent. Denial can make time feel heavier than concrete. And after that, you still have to go to trial. You still have to answer the count. You still have to live. You still have to pretend you're okay. This is what Karmelo Anthony's going through right now. Because I wanted to tap y'all into his mindset. And the jewel in that is, denial hurts so bad because it doesn't just reject emotion, it destroys the future your mind was secretly building. And the question is for y'all to answer the question. Is it crueler to have no hope at all, or to keep getting hope and having it taken away? What Karmelo has to learn now, right? We're gonna talk about what Karmelo got to learn now, right? So what does Karmelo have to learn now? He has to learn how to hope without floating too high. He has to learn how to expect the worst without becoming hopeless. He has to learn how to fight legally while surviving mentally. He has to learn how to read paperwork without letting paperwork become his whole identity. He has to learn how to take accountability without letting shame destroy him. He has to learn how to accept today without surrendering tomorrow. This is not easy. This takes discipline. This takes maturity. This takes spiritual strength. This takes emotional control. This takes elders. That takes guidance. That takes honesty. And most of all, that takes understanding this. The appeal might change the case, but only accountability can change the man. Only growth can change the man. Only discipline can change the man. Only truth can change the man. Because even if a court gives relief, you still have to live with what happened, what he did. Whether self-defense or not, he still have to live with that. And if the court denies relief, he still has to live with himself. And the jewel in that is, an appeal may fight for freedom, but accountability fights you for the man you become, whether you win or lose. And the controversial questions, see where I put my finger up, so remember, so when you skip through the part, you can go right back to it and see where my finger's up, and you know that's where the question is. See how I think of everything. What matters more after a tragedy, winning in court or becoming honest enough to never be the same person again? We gotta ride out. We got to ride out. I know y'all ready for me to go. I've been up here, almost 40 minutes, right? A message to the youth, right? Let me give you my message to the youth before I go out. To the young people watching this, listen to me. Do not wait until you file motions to learn how serious life really is. Do not wait until you're reading legal mail to understand consequences. Do not wait until your mother is crying on a prison phone to realize she loved you. Do not wait until the judge is saying numbers to realize time is valuable. Do not wait until the appeal to start appealing to your own common sense, because the streets will not file the motion for you. Your pride will not argue that appeal for you. Your ego will not visit you every weekend. Your anger will not put money on your books. The one emotional moment, that one emotional moment will not keep you warm at night. And the people who hyped you up may not even remember your DIN number. That's your inmate number or your mailing address. That's why I keep telling you, the streets are real, but prison is realer. The courtroom is real. The denial is real. The silence after denial is real. And the years after the silence, those are the realest and can be the loudest, other than the noise at night when the lights go out and the boogeyman come out. The jewel in that is, do not let a moment of pride put you in a position where your only hope is a piece of paper moving through a courtroom at a snail's pace. Now, ain't got a controversial question, finger up so you know when to back it up to find where the finger's up. That's where we at. All right. Now, if young people really understood appeals, denials, and decades, would they still gamble with their freedom so easily? We're going to ride to the closing. We're over 40 minutes. I know y'all want me out of here. Y'all want me to do a live? Put in the comment you want me to do a live. I need to just do a live and be up here about 3 hours and play with y'all, right? Now, the closing. The appeal won't save Karmelo Anthony's nights. So yes, an appeal matters. Emotion matters. Legal rights matter. Hope matters. But let's not lie to ourselves. The appeal won't save his nights. The appeal won't stop the silence. The appeal won't stop the thoughts. The appeal won't stop the regret. The appeal won't stop him from counting years in his head. The appeal won't stop him from wondering what his family is doing right now. The appeal won't stop him from thinking about what was lost. The appeal won't stop that feeling when the cell doors closes and he realizes nobody can do that night in that cell but him. A lawyer can file, a court can review, a family can pray, people online can argue, but the man in the cell still has to survive the night. And that is where the real sentence begins, not in the courtroom, not on the news, not in the comment section, in the dark, on the bunk. Just hope in one hand, fear in the other, and 35 years standing over him like a shadow that won't move. And the final jewel, right? I'm about to get out of here. I know I keep saying that, right? But I'm enjoying myself. Y'all enjoying it? Put in the comments, y'all enjoying it. Let's go this viral. An appeal can keep hope alive, but only a strong mind, accountability, and discipline can keep a man from dying inside while he waits. Final controversy question. All right, we're gonna get the question. This one. All right. So when you see this, you run it back, you stop the video there. Do you believe appeals give prisoners real hope, or do they just give them another way to survive one more night in the dark? Now, thank y'all for coming. Make sure you cop the book of Raw in Harlem. All right? At the end, my man Ron G does the beat for me. I'm gonna put it up there so you can see what it is. But make sure y'all share this video, like this video, put a comment on the video, even an emoji and a couple of words, do something, because that's the way to get it viral so we can get this story out. Because this is not the type of content they expect from an old black man like me. Yeah, I mean, they want to hear who's shooting who doing this. I'm not into all that. I'm here to save the babies, and I think we're doing a good job. Let me show you why I do this. This is the brother Murder Mook.
Hey, what's going on, man? Murder Mook, Harlem, you know what it is, man. I just want to express how much gratitude I got for Unique. You know what I mean? I was telling him a story, telling him how I felt about, you know, if anything was to go wrong with my career, rap-wise, you know, if, you know, should be slow, and I got so many opportunities to be able to do the wrong shit. When I watch Unique Mecca audio, I feel it, and I, like, to my soul, and that's keeping me farthest away from doing anything criminal. Anything criminal. He made me think straight, honestly. Made me think straight, because I've been watching him for about a year, like a year now, maybe. And it just took my mind way off of that, way off of that. From a year ago, it got rough. For a year ago,
Yeah.
and from
I know
watching
that
this
feeling.
man, I just felt like, you saved me. You saved me. And I just want to show my gratitude, and I want to say thank you, man. Unique Mecca Audio, anything you need, brother, from me.
All right.
Anything you need, man.
All right.
Cheers, cheers, toast the crime, toast the crime, the crime, the crime, the crime.
Fresh out the can of 26, he back on the strip, getting back in the mix. What he mentions a gift. You stand up 10 toes down, and I suggest you pay attention to this. Take a little gully posse and put it in Harlem. He cut from the bottom, came up from the bottom. Drop the book, you should go and get it. The Instagram page and the YouTube, you could go and visit. Then you could consider yourself LinkedIn. Sit front row and get Jews from a kingpin. How he went through it, so you ain't gotta go do it. To not pay attention would be stupid. Talking about a man that probably put your grandfather on. Probably the reason that him and your grams got along. A man that generated millions on the block, did his time, never squilling to the cops. Mecca Audio. Get it live like 2 G's in the 90s. Drop top beamer so shiny. I let shorty go, she was whining. Treat her like my past, she behind me. Spend a couple bands on the Dapper Dan. You be back again, getting green like a Packers fan. No cap, it's a roaring uptown. They be horn uptown, Dominican bust downs. Now we on the positive, we got a lot to give. Now he trying to stop the kids from being inoperative. So take heed, homie, lend a ear. He started in uptown, he gon' finish dead. But now it ain't about selling drugs, buying cars. It's about buying property to make the community ours, so we can give back to the.
Cheers, cheers, toast the crime.